Stream in cyberspace into your place, sponsored by Gargamel's Kitchen. From Lucas Oil Raceway, it's the Virtual Grip Network's 5th round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Late Model Invitational Series, Season 22. This season, wins have been sprinkled like nutmeg on custard. 4 races, 4 different winners, leading to a points race that's anybody's guess. Two-time champion Donnie Moore trails Mike Holloway by a single marker. No driver in the top 5 can boast a race win. They belong to Matt Hoos in 6th, Aiden Young in 9th, Michael Goodman in 11th, and J.R. Shepard way down in 21st. Will we get a 5th different winner tonight, or will order be restored? To find out, pull the lever on the Lazy Boy and settle in for some simulated short track action soon to be streaming your way. From the state where the gleaming candlelight still burns bright, hello and welcome on this Saturday night, April 29th, 2023. John Ein joins yours truly, Bill Soupson, high up in the BGN broadcast booth to bring you our Words Eye View. Replaying Lion Seneca, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. Well, it's our standard 100 laps for the main event, which we get going in just a minute. But John, last night in our big 180 lap race, the super late model race where Lucas Oil, the preferred line was the high line. Do you think it's going to be the same for these lesser power cars?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's going to be from about the middle of the track on up is where you're going to want to be. And yeah, I think some guys are going to have some opportunity. I mean, passing is really, really going to be tough here. You're going to have to roll the corner and get somebody to have to roll the high line where they can't dime in the corner totally, and hopefully get your nose in there and can get them up and out of their rhythm. But Soup, I'm looking up, and I would have thought 100 laps too, but it looks like we're going 85 tonight. 85,
I should have known better. I fell into the old tradition there, because this is a 7/10 of a mile racetrack, almost as big as USA, which is 3/4. They shortened the distance a little bit to make sure we can get it in under the wire. So 85 laps it will be. Nevertheless, it is still sponsored by the Gargamel's Kitchen, who sponsors all of our events. They are a high-quality, food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Visit them at 2045 South Valencia Street, or call Gargamel's Kitchen at 720-707-6178. Then sing the jingle with me. Gargamel's Kitchen is the best. Everyone else is just the rest. All right, quickly to the points. There were no first-time drivers at Martinsville, so the number of drivers who've raced at least once this season remains at 25. And there are no wins from any of the top 5 driver. Martinsville's no-shows from Aiden Young and Michael Goodman made room for everybody to move up. Coming off a season best 4th, Mike Holloway jumps 3 spots to take over the points lead. Despite a season's worth tying 8th last time out for Donnie Moore, he moves up from 3rd to 2nd. After a 13th to open the season, it's been nothing but top 10s for Joe Segala. He climbs 4 rungs on the point ladder. Young and Goodman's absence allows Jeffrey Harden to gain his position despite a season-worst 13th last time. The Butcher of Baton Rouge, Joe Snyder, leads all the series in incidence points. Last round winner Matt Hoos follows Ribeye Joe. Prolific at top 10s last season, the boss man Lowell Jewell has only managed 1 so far. And cracking the top 10 last week, Mike Allen gains 2 more spots. Here he comes. His no-show drops Aiden Young 8 positions, and Bruce Pearson is coming off his first top 10 last time out, which brings us to the Soup of the Day spotlighted over-under driver, and we're going to go with one of the driver who has been on a hot streak of late. We're talking to Mike Holloway. Now, Simon and Poindexter, they have set the number at 3.5. So, John, bet the under if you think he'll finish 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. Bet the over if you think he'll finish 4th or worse. What you call on Mike Holloway?
I am going to say I'm betting the over. He's starting 10th, and this track is really, really hard to pass. So that's what I'm going to say, the over here for him. And we've had 4 races, you said 4 different winners or 5 different winners or whatever it is. This thing's been unpredictable this year. So who knows what's going to happen, which is a lot of the fun here.
Indeed, and remember, the grid is not set by qualifying. It is the inverse from the top 15 of the previous race. So what we'll do right now is talk about how the grid is actually going to line up. And on the front row It's going to be the chief, Steve Hilbert, the former police chief of Plain City, Ohio. He's going to be inside of Jeffrey Harden. John?
Yeah, and filling up row number 2 is going to be Todd Liston in his 87, and the boss man, the number 20 of Lowell Jewell.
Ribeye Joe Snyder is going to be starting 5th. He's flanked by Bruce Pearson in the double duck.
Starting 7th on the field will be the 26, that's Donnie Moore, and next to him will be the 59 of Mike Allen.
Joe Segala, who is having a very good season, 3rd in the points, will start 9th on this grid. Inside of Mike Holloway, our spotlighted driver.
Adam Shane will start from 11th, and next to him will be Kurt Smith.
In his fluorescent blue number 21, it's Matt Hoos. He's inside of the fireman, Aiden Young.
And now a winner, we can call him a winner in this series. It's going to be Michael Goodman starting 15th. Next to him will be Ruben Altiz.
And rounding out our 18-car field, Stephen Spees and Kevin Nunn. Well, the parade lap's done. Now we have the pace lap. Glad you are here with us tonight in Indiana's Lucas Oil Speedway. Beautiful night to go racing. Our honorary pace car driver, Miss Rim of the World 1977 and still voluptuous after all these years, the affable Josie Kirkland. Josie takes the cars around the back stretch. She'll be pulling the pace car down into pit lane and turning control of the race over to Steve Hilbert. Steve a little uncomfortable being up front, not where we like to see him. He's going to do a good job of trying to keep it clean. Hold that inside line and watch him go around the outside. You know what to do. Chug-a-lug, makes you want to holler, hi-ho! Hilbert with a great jump out in front. And he does get to corner number 1 first. And he holds it. Now he drifts up a little bit. Jeffrey Harden giving him lots of room. Now powers around the top side and the 36 takes the lead. Looking to go to the outside as well is the 87 of Todd Liston. Liston moves to the outside as Hilbert begins to fall. As they exit corner number 4, Hilbert drops a little bit more. A nice momentum run now for Lowell Jewell in the 20. Hilbert keeping a not the high line. And Jewell
in the wall.
And we got an incident. No caution, and it was Kurt Smith. You're right, John. He took evasive action, and he had to crank the wheel to the left to avoid making contact with Mike Holloway. Holloway got loose.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start your race here, and he's going to be behind the 8-ball with no caution. It looks like he's about to go a lap down.
And there you see him on the low side as we come to number 6 as they go around him. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. You get caught up in an incident and they don't bring out the yellow. Let's set the table for you. Harden, Liston, tip of the hat to Steve Hilbert, the chief, able to keep that car up front in 3rd. Lowell Jewell had visions of taking that 3rd position, but held up, thought better of it. He sits behind him in 4th. Rounding out your top 5, Joseph Snyder. I'll set the back half of your top 10. Pearson, Moore, Shane, Segala, and Hoos.
The one thing Kurt Smith is going to have going for him, this is early on in the race. We do have a lucky dog in this race, so if he can get back out there, catch a couple of nice timely cautions, he can be back in the fight in no time.
Now this is big news because the man who has a race win and really only 25 points back in the points, even though he sits in 9th, I'm talking about the fireman, Aiden Young. He grid, but he's not there. Must have had some technical issues. Maybe the alarm went off, John. Do you think? And he had to put on his boots and tighten up the suspenders and go save somebody.
Again, Aiden is my teammate, and I will tell you, if that was the case, that is not the first time it's happened. I've been in a race with him where he's had to pull off the track, run out the door. So I hope all is well with him, and I hope if it is a call, hope they all come back safe.
Look at the beautiful, colorful cars that our director is focusing on right now. You can't miss that fluorescent blue machine. Only one driver drives that shade. That's Matt Hoos. He's in a battle right now with Donnie Moore and the Yellow Loves machine coming. Mike Holloway coming in there. Oh, and Moore gets a little bit of the outside wall. Oh, we know about that from last night, don't we, John? Keeping the car off that outside wall. Harder to do here.
Yes, it is, and as those tires wear, it's going to get harder and harder. Those cars are going to start sliding around or not turning through the corner quite as well. And, NASCAR fans, you all heard about the Darlington stripe. Well, there's an IRP stripe that can happen here just as easily.
Let's go to third position. This is Steve Hilbert, the Chief. Now, remember, he was followed by Lowell Jewell. Jewell lost that position to Ribeye Joe Snyder, the Butcher of Baton Rouge, now slicing out a piece of third position as he goes underneath Hilbert. Move Hilbert back to fourth, move the Chief up into third. That'll be 2 positions forward for him so far tonight. Look at the bee's nest going on behind, the hornet's nest going on behind him. Let's start with the 22, that's Pearson. Now right behind him is Adam Shane. There's the fluorescent blue machine of Hoos, we talked about it all the time, and the bright yellow car of Mike Holloway, our over-under driver. Well, he started in 10th. He's picked up 1 position. Got a long way to go to get to the under. Of course, John picked the over.
I did, and the way he's kind of picked up a couple of spots here, he's only made 1 spot up, so we talked about it. Really, really difficult track to pass on here, and if the passing's going to take place, believe it or not, it's going to be towards the end here once you get kind of wear into those tires, and all of a sudden some guys' cars are not handling well. They didn't look after their tires, that kind of stuff. But one thing about this track and running up top, tire wear may not be as big of an issue tonight as what we've seen in the past. When you're on the top, you're not putting a lot of wheel into the car, which means you're not turning it. It means you're not eating up those right side tires. When you're hooking the bottom, you're putting a lot of load on that right front. But so we'll have to see how this one plays out. It may be tough to pass for the whole race here tonight.
Want to take you back. My spidey senses are tingling. Let's go back to his 13th position. This is Ruben Altice. He's been in a side-by-side battle with Donnie Moore for the last 5 or 6 laps. That's the 70 of Altice down below. Donnie Moore, the 28 on the top side. Now look at the momentum that Moore gets off. Altice wins out of the corner, but Moore gets to drive that number 26 a lot faster. Now Altice finally settles down. Watching the whole thing from what we like to call the popcorn position, the double nickel of Steven Spieth. And also in the mix, Kevin Nunn, who started in dead last, up 3 spots now, watching the racing that's going on in front. Good racing all around the track, and it's all on the top side.
It's ironic that Mr. Nunn has a Pizza Hut car. There's a hot topic about pizza in the driver chat today.
Let's pull that card here at BGN. John had a late substitute here as my partner last night and hadn't finished dinner. He was multitasking, commentating, and working on a delicious pizza at the same time. Did a good job of John. Thank you a lot for that. You saved me.
No worries, but yeah, pizza sure was good, and I guess I have to thank my wife for setting that one in front of me, and it's like, oh man, but this is such a good race. Yeah, call me Papa John now, thanks. But that race last night was just fantastic. It was in doubt right until the end, and the way this is shaping up here, and as close as these guys, no one's really breaking away. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of the same here, but if your spidey sense is tingling, it sure should be right now around Ruben Altice and we're just
there it is.
is.
The spot, the 55, got into it with Steve Hilbert, 52. Now, Hilbert had been falling down, and they were going around him. He was started on the pole. I was just about to say what a great job he was doing. And, John, this is the same kind of incident. So we saw 3 or 4 of these last night where maybe the outside car drifts a little bit loose, and then the inside car comes out onto him.
Yeah, the inside car pushes a little bit, and the outside car gets a little loose. And I'm looking at that. The initial contact actually was neck code right towards the back of the 2 cars. And that kind of turned Steven's nose over into Hilbert's nose, and then they just kind of parked it along the wall. But it doesn't really look like either one of them sustained a whole lot of damage here.
Very typical of what we saw last night. Tip the hat to Donnie Moore, and the 26 did a great job at taking evasive action. Ducked that ASPCA machine down to the inside, let the 2 cars drift up to the wall, and he goes through clean, sitting in 12th position. Hilbert was doing a good job. He started up front. I know that's a tough position. Steve, I've been in that position. I'm a perpetual back marker, and was in that position, and that's a tough thing to do. Let's set the table for you. Jeffrey Harden, Todd Liston, and Joe Snyder, your front three. Before the yellow came out, Liston was really giving Jeffrey the Harden the work over. Really making him work hard, and it's be interesting to see and he'll get the benefit of starting on the outside line.
Well, and of course, if we're talking about Mr. Harden here, we'd be remiss not to mention Brandy. Say hi to Brandy out there. That's Jeff's other half that likes to root him on. So thank you for watching. But yeah, that battle up front, as soon as we go back to green here, it's going to resume, and it'll be interesting because now Liston's going to start on the outside. If he can get a really good launch and hold Harden down, and the key's going to be if Todd can stay to his outside off a corner exit when they get out of 2, boy, it's going to be game on through 3 and 4, and whoever it'll be a coin flip on who's leading coming out of 4.
We'll watch the lights on the pace car. If they go off, we will not do an interview. If they stay on, we'll see if we can bring in Jeffrey Harden. I believe they're going to go off. We're not going to have time to talk to Jeff. We don't want to distract him here. Oh, no, they're still on. Let's go ahead and bring in our race leader, Jeffrey Harden, the number 36. John, I'll let you open up with the first question when we get him in here. Oh, and I guess we cannot talk to Jeffrey. Okay. Oh, we got him. There you go, John.
Hey, Jeff, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, John, what's going on?
Not a whole lot. You're up front in a clear windshield here. You're getting a little bit of pressure with the 87 there. What's going to be your plan here on this restart?
Honestly, just trying to keep a little gap, save as much tires as I can. This thing's brutal on the right front.
Are you sensing that it's maybe going during practice? Did you think there's a little less tire wear with running the high line? Just real quick.
I think it's about even, no matter where you're at. It's more or less how you get in the corner and how you want to push it out.
All right. We'll get a quick shout out to Brandy, and then I'll let Soup ask a really, really fast question.
Hey, Brandy, I love you, baby.
Does she? Can we do this? You got to get Brandy set up on Discord so maybe we can talk to her one of these nights, okay?
Yeah, 10-4, I'll work on that, Soup.
All right, good job. Good luck, man. You got to go green. Go get him. All right, as we come around, we're going to be working lap number 24. Jeffrey Harden able to settle down. Looking to go green here, and a good jump from Harden. Now
That's
watch
what he needed.
Yeah, Liston tucks in. Now the 39 of Snyder has been really good. Look at the outside line, though. He wasn't able to drift up, and that's going to allow Lowell Jewell to muscle around if he can keep the 20 off the wall. Man, John, I'm telling you, every time I talk to the drivers, they say the fast line is inches away from the wall. Takes my breath away sometimes what these guys have to do to get fast.
It does, and that is exactly what happened that I said that Liston needed to do. Lowell was able to stay on his quarter panel coming out of turn 2 there, and when he did that, it gave him a nice run down the backstretch, and there he goes into third here, so the boss man is up to the third spot.
We're going to drop back to the 79. Some drivers don't get the screen time they deserve because of the nature of their style of racing. Adam Shane is a very clean driver, doesn't get into a lot of trouble, avoids incidents, is always fast, and he's one of those guys at the end of the race, when we do the race rundown, we look and say, a very quiet top 10 for Adam Shane. Well, he's doing it again, sitting in 5th, up 6 spots in the 79, and working on the back of Joseph Snyder. Another driver to look at back a little farther back in the pack, going to the inside is the 28 of Michael Goodman. Goodman already has a win. He says he's not in the championship hunt because he's going to have to miss a few. He missed last week because he had to take some silly vacation to Italy. My goodness, Michael, get your priorities straight. Side by side out of 4, Cialis Bathtubs. The 22 and the 28, they touch. And the 22 saves it. Pearson, nice job. I thought he was going around right in front of Holloway.
I'm going to tell you, if Pearson's car had just even a crew cut haircut, that car would have been smacking the wall. That's how close he got up to that wall.
That's got to be unnerving for the 70 Altice, who's riding right smack between the 2 cars in front. Holloway now our points leader, and that yellow loves machines. Got it down low. Number 10 looks like he might be able to close the deal. You know, I got to always second guess myself on this because this is Lucas Oil where the top side is king. They don't close them when they get down to the inside. He's going to have to really earn it.
Yeah, like I said a little bit in the pre-race, it's about from mid-track on up, and the best way to run here is to dime in the corner, kind of go in high, and then go down to the middle low on corner exit. So if you're up high like right they are right now, and then as they come out, if they can get down to the middle lane, that's the quick way around here. And man, Mike is really, really holding his own, and he's exclusively running the middle. If he was to go all the way to the bottom, the 22 would eat his lunch there. But look at that, he completes the pass using the middle lane.
One of the quirks of simulated racing is that sometimes what I see and what you see are not quite the same. Trust me, I am colorblind, but I do know the difference between bright yellow and blue. So I'm looking at a yellow Loves livery, but Holloway clearly in that blue fluorescent machine there, number 10. Whatever the paint scheme, he's fast.
Yes, he is, and he's striving to get that podium to make me wrong yet again, and he's just being solid. And even what he was doing there, though, I don't know that he was really using his tires too much, but if he did, he's got some time now to cool them back down and close the gap up.
Holloway's in a blue car, and another blue car to keep an eye on is the 21 of Matt Hoos, working on the back of Snyder. Snyder had visions of racing up for the podium. Well, now he's having just the best he can to stay in the top 5. Remember, Lowell Jewell got around Snyder, and we talked about him. He's quiet, and he's done it again. He snuck up into the top 4 without us knowing it. Who am I talking about? The 79 of Adam Shane. My God, he is sneaky.
He is, and he's sneaked up on these guys, and look at this. He's not content with running 4th. He's putting some pressure on Lowell here. I'd say that 79 is one of the quicker cars on the track. Hopefully he can really do something here with this car. I mean, he's a great driver, so, man, Lowell's going to have his hands full here.
Notorious for racing under the radar. Well, man, you're blinking on my screen right now. I'm talking about the 79 of Adam Shane. Started in 11th, up 7 positions into 4th. He's our big mover with the exception of Michael Goodman, previous race winner. And honestly, Goodman is on a 1-race win streak because the last time he was here in the BRL Late Model Invitational, he won. Then he took a week off to go to Italy. Hope he had a good time. Had some spaghetti, maybe some pizza.
I would be thinking that, oh, God, I can't think of it. The ice cream over there, my mind just went blank.
All right. Everyone in the booth is thinking of it, but we can't do it.
Yeah.
All right. Send it into the Brandy. Put it in the. Could you put that please in the YouTube chat?
It's not ice cream, but I just had it too.
Well, we're working lap number 38. You got about. We're about halfway to get it done, man. There's a nice battle we're looking at. That's the 87. Liston working on Harden. We like to take you all the way through the field, and sometimes we forget to watch the battle up front, and right now this is a pretty good one.
Gelato, that's it.
How did you get that? You come up with that yourself?
Yeah, gelato over in Italy. That oh my God, that's absolutely the best thing to get over there to eat.
All right, we'd like to thank Brandy for actually getting that one in. While we talk about that, Lowell Jewell under attack from Adam Shane. Thank you, Brandy.
Yes, thank you. That was going to bother me and bother me and bother me.
Do you know what I like to have on my gelato? A little brandy. A little brandy. Put a little brandy on there.
I'll tell you, the places over there that you get, some of those pastry shops are just insane. And the funny thing is they're good, and they're not sweet like what the pastry shops over here are. It's a pretty big difference, but That gelato, man. Oh my gosh, I could have that stuff for breakfast, lunch, and dinner when I was over there.
Well, there's a lot of wine in Italy, which means there's a lot of wine bottles in Italy, which means every one of those wine bottles has a cork on the top of it. And if you want to see what it looks like, look at the number 36. Jeffrey Harden is holding up the train right now. My good, Liston looking for any way around, and it won't be long till Lowell Jewell and Shane get there, and probably not in that order, as Adam Shane has a target on Lowell Jewell. But also in the mix, here comes Hoos has caught this train. Snyder has been dropping a little bit, he's there, but then the guy to watch out for, Mr. Italy himself, number 28, Michael Goodman. Yeah, he's in 7th, but he can see the leader.
Yeah, and keep in mind, we just talked to Harden just a second ago, and he was talking about tire conservation here. So, you know, and see, he started to pull away now from Todd a little bit here. So I have to wonder, is he just kind of managing the gap and managing his tires, looking after his tires?
Sorry to interrupt that. I was really worried that Adam Shane was going to drift up into Lowell Jewell, and then as he got off the throttle, the closing rate to Matt Hoos was frightening, but the 21 woed up in time. There was no accordion effect, or actually, since we're talking about Italy, no concertina effect. But there was a lot of papa going on right there. We're not going to take you back in the pack. The action is up front. Oh, now here comes a pass for second place. This is the boss man, Lowell Jewell, trying to get the 20 underneath. He's side by side. They are Cialis bathtubs out of 4, but watch the momentum that the 87 will have enlisted on the top side. He's a half car length back. Boy, he didn't close much. They touch, and he gets him in the wall. They're going to keep going straight. I don't think it's going to bring out the yellow. They got too close together, and Jewell slipped up into the wall. They keep going straight. We stay green, but they're coming in for a fast repair.
Yeah, Lowell sent it in there, and it just pushed right up the track, and his back bumper wasn't quite clear of Todd's front bumper. That's a tough break for both those guys. But 2 guys that were like, thank you very much. Look at this, the 79 of Adam Shane, the 21 of Matt Hoos. Hoos is loose, he's coming.
We're going to leave that for a second. It's getting crazy back here with Bruce Pearson. I saw them almost go 3 wide a minute ago. This battle is Pearson in the 22 up front. Now coming in there is Ruben Altiz in the 70, and now finally dropping third in line is Steven Spieth. Spieth says, no, I'm not third in line, Soup. And they go around the 87. That's Todd Liston, who's just come out of pit lane. Watch the battle between the 70. Altiz on top and Spieth on the bottom. We've seen this happen before. They got to give each other room here. They can't get together. Spieth does a good job of keeping the car low. Altiz does a good job of not drifting down in it. They go around the 20 of Lowell Jewell, who's also coming out of pit lane. Both those drivers go 1 lap down.
Now, these 3 guys have been battling since the drop of the green flag. And Soup, just so you know, Steven's last name is spelled Spies. So, on Monday nights, I think they refer to him as the detective. And right now, he's trying to figure out and solve the problem of trying to figure out how to get around those 2 guys in front of him. I think Steven is faster than the 2 guys in front of him. It's kind of weird that you talk about that cork effect. Right now, I think the 22 of Bruce Pearson, he's the cork in the bottle, because I think both the 70 and the 55 are quicker than he is.
So there's that cork there. Then we talked about the cork that was up front of Jeffrey Harden. Well, some of the fizz is out of the champagne when Jewell and Liston got together, so it's opened up a little bit of a gap. Let's go there now. In fact, let's watch the 79. This is Shane under attack from the 21. Matt Hoos started in 5th position, and Shane puts it in the wall, but he keeps it off of Hoos.
And that wakes you up behind the wheel, too, and that will make you nervous for a lap or 2, and he's going to push into the wall again.
Maybe the charge from 11th up to 3rd, maybe worn off the rubber, maybe the good is gone now. He's having a hard time keeping it off.
Yeah.
A man who has been clean and watching all the accident in front of him is Michael Goodman. He's racing in 5th right now.
Yeah, it looks like Shane almost goes into a 4-wheel drift coming out of the corners right now. That's just going to kill his tires. He's going to be in survival mode now the rest of this race.
We started with 18 drivers. Aiden Young did not take the grid. 3 drivers are a lap down, Liston, Jewell, and Smith. Todd Liston in the lucky dog position, the best of all the cars who are lap down. Steve Hilbert racing in 14th, the last car on the lead lap. Jeffrey Harden racing up front. It'll be a while before he gets to Hilbert, though. In fact, let's look at this battle. I'm not sure this is. Let's go to Hilbert. This is a battle with Kirk Smith, who's a lap down. Really not a battle. We'll just give them a little screen time. That's our pole sitter, Steve Hilbert, in 14th. And Smith, actually the last car out there, running in last place of all the cars that are still running. All right, enough of them. Our contract calls for us to put the camera on the leader every so often. Let's do that right now. Jeffrey Harden. We are racing lap number 57. Jeffrey Harden has led 55 of the 57 laps, according to my timing and scoring. And to be honest with you, I think he's led them all. Now, yeah, I think he got the lead. I think my timing is scoring off by a lap. Honestly, I think he's led them all. Coming around right now, and actually, Soup, if you figure out how the timing and scoring works, they're racing 57, but you can't lead all 57 laps until you finish lap 57. So indeed, he has led them all.
Soup, you've been around iRacing enough. You know iRacing does a bunch of stuff that there is just not an explanation for. I have been in races where I've led flag to flag, and I'll look at the results, and it says I led all but one lap. Never understood it. Don't even try. Well, the way it is.
So here we go. We have Jeffrey Harden, who is being watched right now from Brandy. We have Matt Hoos, whose better half, Holly, is also cheering on from the chat. There's racing on the track, and then afterwards there'll be an arm wrestling contest with our new virtual arm wrestling that's going to be released in the next build.
All right, I've got to ask them a question. Okay, girls, or ladies, should I say. Both these guys, I'm sure, have let you guys get on the simulator and take laps. What kind of teacher or, are these guys? Are they patient? Or how do they convey? I'm sure you guys know how to drive just fine, and so I'm not saying that you don't. But I'm going to bet these guys are probably pretty interesting to tell you, oh, you should be doing this or doing that. I'd be interested to know which one of them might have a little more patience. I know Matt pretty well. I don't know Jeff quite as well, but I know they're both characters, so I'm sure it's probably experience.
Well, Holly.
Yeah, and who's got in the wall?
Matt just put it in the wall, but he's okay. Now, what I used to do is, because I didn't have a butt kicker, my wife would stand behind me with a frying pan, and if I put it in the wall, she'd slam me in the shoulder with the frying pan. That was a very effective butt kicker.
Well, I asked the question because, I've let my wife into the simulator too, and, and I guess there's something about standing behind her going, okay, this is the apex, this is what you... Eventually, about 3 or 4 minutes of this, and I try not to be condescending. I don't think I'm condescending, but... I get the, will you shut up and let me drive?
There you go.
And that's why I was asking if it's the same scenario, or am I really that bad at just trying to quote, help?
Look at the camera angle our director has found for us. You can see Harden and Hoos. But if you look just about 3 inches up, well, if you got a big screen, I'll call it 6 inches up. Look who's coming, Snyder and Goodman. We're going to have ourselves a 4-car battle here in no time.
Harden just got really out of shape coming out of 2 here. So remember now, we're not going 100 laps. There's only 20 laps to go here. So this is getting the pay windows open. These guys are going to start pushing probably now more than they have been all race. We're about to find out who looked after their tires the best.
Well, if we base it on position gained, you got to think that Goodman, 15th to 4th, had to work up a lot, but honestly, he has been just kind of very smooth, avoiding trouble. Oh no! Harden protecting the inside. I think he forgot where he was. He protects the inside and leaves the outside open for Hoos. Hoos now is going to power around the 36. I don't know if that was a mistake or if he was worried that Hoos was going to dive underneath him, but now I haven't seen anybody defend from the inside yet. We'll see how this works. No, the 21. Oh, and they almost touched. What great racing between the 36 and the 21. Hoos gets credited with leading the lap. Harden gets into him one more time, pushing him up. They continue to go straight. Then Snyder's got to be really holding his breath right now because one mistake will get him as well. And Goodman watching on from way back. Finally, Hoos gets it done. And now Harden begins to struggle as the 39 of Snyder tries to get underneath. He loses momentum. I got to take a breath. The 28 of Goodman has visions of getting up there. I'm done. John, take it.
Yeah, and I don't think 36, I really don't think that was a mistake. He had been diamonding that corner, going into the middle and then trying to diamond down and coming out of the exit there on the low side, just like he is right here. He's been doing that all race. My guess is Matt was timing that to figure out when he could get to his quarter panel. Because if you could get to their quarter panel, what happens is that does not allow that driver to swing out to the wall to use momentum to get a good run down the front stretch. He did it perfectly, and he's driving off right now, Soup.
He is cooking with hot fish grease. Matt Hoos now way out in front. Got himself almost a second lead. Now trying to go to the inside is Ribeye Joe. Ribeye Joe will have to back off. If he loses momentum, that's going to open the door for the 28 of Goodman. A great battle going on for second position right now. Way behind the man who's driving away with it, Matt Hoos. We're going to focus on second. Apologies to the drivers farther back, but the action is up front.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, Schneider is in a real predicament because if he tries too hard, he does something that doesn't work out with Harden. Guess who's going to pounce? That 28 of Michael Goodman here. So, man, oh my gosh, this is tense. This is what we like.
We are going to quickly break away to our spotlighted driver. That's the number 10 of Mike Holloway. The over-under was 3.5, and he's dropping another position as the 55 of Steven Spees. Got to give Spees credit, 17th to 5th right now as they continue the battle. But we really can't stay there too long because the action is up front. Here comes Goodman diving underneath Snyder. They are side by side. Goodman credited with third. Snyder credited with third. No, I was right the first time. Goodman credited with third place as they come across the line, and Goodman is going to secure that spot as he moves up into third. We are running out of laps. Remember, it's only 85, not 100.
Yeah, and Goodman is coming right now. Holy cow, is he on a mission. If it was 100 laps, I think he'd have time to track down Hoos if he's quicker. I don't think Harden's going to be able to hold him off here for too long.
We talk about the wins that have been sprinkled around. Well, one of them has gone to Hoos. Another one who has a win is Goodman. The 70 of Altice brings his car in to pit lane. Here comes Goodman in a battle now with Harden. They are side by side. Harden credited with leading that lap, but I don't think that's the way it's going to be when they come around this time. A little bit of a slide job from Goodman. Careful, you're not clear yet. Michael, now you're clear. Woo, that was a close one.
And now I'm going to see if there's any chance. I mean, he doesn't have the time. I mean, he is going to have to he's going to have to go right to ludicrous speed to catch Hoos.
Still time for a yellow flag. Nice Spaceballs reference there, John. I'll give you that. That was good. Snyder.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies. That's what kind of oddball I am. If it has Mel Brooks in the title, by God, I'm watching it.
We're going to go away from the front real quick. We're going to check on this battle with Holloway and Spees, just because Spees has done such a great job coming from the back row, looking to get a top 5 here if he can work on Holloway. You're not missing anything up front. It's settled down a bit. Those cars are all separated, all of them, by at least 6 or 7 car lanes. So the action is right here for 5th. Oh, careful. We don't want to finish under yellow, guys. Let's see if we can make this pass clean. Look at the line that the 55 gets. He's going to get credited with leading at the line, and I think he's going to be able to complete the pass now. John, the racing is different at the end of the race than it is earlier. As I say that, look at the 10 power around. Passes that couldn't be made down low, that can be made later when the tires are old, it looks like.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, because, you know, guys start not handling quite as well. When you've got fresh 4 Goodyears on those cars, you know, you roll through the center, the car sticks to the track. Well, now, you know, it looks like Holloway is fighting a push, and Spees is able to roll the bottom, and that's what's keeping Spees alive there on the bottom and able to nose in front of Holloway from time to time. Yeah, this would have never been working out for Steven early in the race.
Not missing anything up front. The cars are separated by a large distance. 1 to 2, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. This is the battle right here, and really not much going on behind him. There is a little bit of a contest with Segala trying to hold off Donnie Moore, but they race nose to tail right now.
And Goodman is closing on Matt, but I just don't think he's gonna run out of time. I mean, 3 laps to go, but he's closed up significantly on Hoos.
Well, we don't have to go too far back to when we saw one where the tires totally went off
Yes.
the meter, and we called it. Next thing you know, Speeds gets the job done. My goodness. Oh, takes it in. Slide job. No, he can't load up. That is so fun to watch. He had the pass made, took it in so deep, but then had to get off of it. Now he's going to try it again. Boys, let's try to keep it clean so we can finish under green, although I don't think it's really going to matter as the front 4 are pretty much decided. This is fun to watch.
I don't know about that first and second. I'm having the visions of that other race.
Let's go to the lead. We're going to leave the battle for 5 right now. We'll go up front because John may be on to something. He is coming, and he is coming in a hurry. And we're talking about Michael Goodman.
Yeah, I think he's going to get there like on the last lap. Look at him close right there through the center. Holy cow. This is like that. But here's the white flag. Oh.
Maybe we'll find out in the interview. Maybe Matt Moore was minding the gap. He's coming. He's 2 car lengths back. Gets a good drive out of 2. He's 1 car length back. They come in. He's going to have a shot at it if Hoos gets loose. He's there. I think he's going to run out of real estate. 1 more lap would have got the job done. Round 5 goes to Matt Hoos. Michael Goodman closes like a freight train, but couldn't get there. Jeffrey Harden hangs on to 3rd. The excitement never stops in the Bootleg Racing League and the Late Model Invitational. Oh, my goodness.
Jeez.
I'm going to take a sip of lemon and honey, have a cough drop, maybe a little adult beverage to go with it, just for medicinal purposes only. We'll be back in a few to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Don't go far.
Welcomes you to the Chuckles. I'm in danger. 250 can possibly go to the outside. He does go to the outside of Ricky Harden. Tries a slide draft him. Harden goes up the track. Now back down to the bottom. Gets a huge push from Tommy Ryan at the start finish. It's going to be Thomas George.
Running the high line, trying to make that
got
pass.
loose off turn 4.
In the grass goes the 6 car, and they were side by side, 2 by 2 here.
Scott Eckler winning the last race of the season and the championship.
Jeff Ford definitely getting the championship for season 2.
Give it up for Thomas George, winning the race and the championship. George overshoots the corner. Scott puts that car just where he needs to on the middle. It's going to be a drag race through the kink.
From Speedway, Indiana, welcome back to Lucas Oil Raceway and VGN's 5th round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's late model invitational series. The results are in. Let's give them to you right now. He started in 13th position. It took him 67 laps to get to the front, but when he got there, he was able to hold it. We're talking about Matt Hoos. He picks up his second win of the season. Michael Goodman coming back from a vacation. Won earlier in the season. He gets a second place now. Great run as he comes from 15th to 12th. Just before we go on, look at the top two drivers and their grid position. 13th and 15th. That is what make Bootleg Racing League events so exciting. Jeffrey Harden started on the front row. He was able to hang on up front for most of the race. He'll finish with the lowest podium position. Joseph Snyder and Mike Holloway go 4th and 5th. The back half of your top 10. Steven Spies, we watched him 17th to 6th. Joe Segala, Donnie Moore. A good run from Kevin Nunn. Very quiet. Not sure we give him much screen time. He started in 18th, cut that in half. He gets a 9th. And Mike Allen continues to move up in the points ladder. I think he's going to move up farther again today with the top 10. John?
Finishing in 11th is going to be Steve Hilbert. He's going to be the last car on the lead lap in that 52 machine. After him will be Kurt Smith, followed by Lowell Jewell and Todd Liston, with Ruben Altice rounding out your top 15. 16th will be Adam Shane, 17th Bruce Pearson, and Aiden Young, who we're not sure. I could probably even check my messages, and I'll probably know what happened to Aiden. Nope. No message from Aiden, so I'm going to bet probably went out on a fire call.
Saving lives, I think. A quick tip of the hat to two drivers. Stephen Hilbert finishing on the lead lap after starting on the pole. I think he'll call that one a victory. And also Ruben Altice, he finished 15th. Look for him to be on the pole, the number 70, starting up front next round. With that, let's go ahead and talk to some of the drivers, and we get the honor of talking to a man we talked earlier to this season, Matt Hoos, because he has a win. Well, he picks up his second win. Matt, this is soup. It took you a while to get there, but once you got there, you were able to hold it. But, the freight train was coming to the end.
Sorry, I couldn't hear any of that.
Goodman closing really fast at the end. Were you just nursing the gap, or was he coming?
No, he was coming. My right front was gone, especially after racing with Jeff. I mean, he put up a heck of a battle. That was a lot of fun, and I got the wall once, and so between the tires and the damage to the front, I was praying we did not have one more lap left. Indeed,
you and Hart put on quite a show as he was hard to get around. When you got around, then you had to hold it at the end. I saw you put it in the wall once. It's nice though. You started in 13th. Were there incidents in front of you that you got through, or were they all behind you?
No, there was a couple spins in front of me, it just was luck. I mean, I just kind of followed guys for a while, and then they would screw up a little bit, give me an opening, and that's just kind of how I work the field.
Okay, we'll get you out of here on this one. Jeffrey Harden's better half, Brandy, was watching, and then we found out that Holly was also watching as you guys, Harden and you, were 1-2, and we had both the women in your lives watching. Here's the question: has Holly ever been on the simulator?
She has messed around a little bit with it.
Okay, well we're thinking of putting together a powder puff event, so you may want to get her a little track time there. Hey, congratulations, Matt. Well to go.
Hey, thank you, and thanks to you guys and Jeff and Mike for a heck of a run for the top 3 there. It was a lot of fun tonight, and thanks to Gargamel's Kitchen and Lowell and BRL group and all the guys and all that. So thank you, and have a good one.
Good job. Matt Hoos, our race winner, second of the season for Mr. Hoos. All right, John, I hope you got the second place driver. You got him?
I do, Mike. You know, when somebody's cooking something in the house and you just start to smell something, you get hungry. Well, that 21 had the same scenario. You probably started to sniff the air from them, and I'm sure you got real hungry there at the end. And oh my goodness, what a finish that was. From your perspective, what were you thinking those last, 3 or 4 laps?
Yeah, it was just I'm going to be completely honest with you. I honestly didn't think I was going to catch him regardless. I didn't think there was enough time to catch him. And when I did on those last 4 or 5 laps, I was like, holy cow. And then I figured out how I was catching him faster, and I started to do that the last 3 laps. And the next thing you know, I was as you saw, I was right there with him, and almost got him.
I know, and that would have made you 2 for 2 your last 2 races there. And yeah, I could see it on the eye from the eyeball test. In the center of the corner, you were just killing him. So that told me that front tire on his car was wore out, and he was having a hard time turning it. And you were able to still roll through that center there. Man, 1 lap short. You're gonna have to talk to Lowell about cutting up to 85 laps there. 100 laps, you would have walked away with it, but. The whole race, though, you know, you were one of the few, and Soup even made mention of this. You really didn't. You passed a lot of cars, but you didn't really abuse your car that much getting around guys. What was the secret to doing that?
What I was doing was I was just letting I was letting off a little early going into the turns, and I was just I wasn't using the gas, I wasn't using the brake, I was just letting the car roll in the corners, and when I got the car, when the car was done rolling and pointing in the direction that I wanted the car to go in, then I was just on the gas, and I had plenty of tire life at the end of that 85 lap run. I could have done 100, laps easily and stuff like that, but that's basically what I did. I didn't go nuts out there, because if I did, I would have killed the tires and stuff like that, and
Mike, we'll get you out of here on this one. Did you do any driving in Italy?
I did no driving in Italy. It was all walking. I tell you, I think I lost 2 or 3 pounds. Regardless on what I ate, I burned it off and then some.
How much gelato did you have?
I was there for 12 days, and I would say probably 9 days I had gelato.
Attaboy. Which one was your favorite?
I'll tell you, pistachio was a killer.
That's really good. I like lemon when I was there, so that was my go-to.
Glad you're back safely, Mike. Congratulations on that second place tonight, man.
Hey, thanks again. I just want to give grats to Matt for he did a hell of a job winning the race, going through traffic and whatnot. I want to give thanks to Gargamel's Kitchen. I want to give thanks to you guys and to Lowell for running a great league. Thanks.
Good luck. We'll see you down the road. Michael Goodman, second place finisher tonight.
You got to say grazie to him.
That's right, grazie. Ciao, Michael. All right, we're going to bring in Jeffrey Harden right now and talk to him. Jeff, my goodness, you were up front for a long time, 66 laps, and then I think the car just gave up on you.
Yeah, I ran the tires off of it, too. I think I ended up with 7% on the right front. I just didn't want to turn anymore.
It was fun to watch you hold back, man. Hoos was on you for a long time, and he could not get by.
Yeah, this track, I mean, if you can be wide, it's really hard to pass here, even if you're a little bit slower. Matt was a lot faster than I was at the end.
So all things considered, considering how little tires you had left at the end, you got to kind of be happy with the third place, huh? I know it's not a win, but still nice to finish on the podium, get to talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, this car and track combo really don't suit my driving style very much. It's so tight, and I really prefer a loose race car, so I mean, it was a struggle for me.
We'll get you out of here on this. We had an interesting little coincidence happen. Of course, Brandy was looking on, cheering you on, and Matt Hoos also had his girl cheering him on, Holly. You guys were running 1-2, and they were both in the YouTube chat. It was fun to see. That was kind of neat, man.
Oh, yeah, Brandy's right here. She wanted to yell at you guys real quick.
Hey, Brandy. Oh, that's nice. Oh, your man did a good job tonight, says he's podium. That's fun. Congratulations. See you guys down the road.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to talk to our director. I like that director. Let's see if we can get Brandy to maybe just sit in with us for a race. That would be really fun. All right, John, final thoughts before I catch my breath here and close this thing up.
Oh man, this series just every week we see things and it's just entertaining. So if you're out there, thank you for watching and come back. Same bat time, same bat channel next week. I gotta think this whole season is going to be a barn burner right down to the final week on who wins this championship, and that is what it's all about in racing.
Very fun. We'd like to thank Gargamel's Kitchen. They're a food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Visit their office at 2045 South Valencia Street or give them a call at 720-707-6178. If you enjoyed what you saw tonight, then we have more of this coming up. Join us again next week at the same time. We're going to be in the Nashville Fairgrounds. That's going to be Saturday, May 6th. You can read it right on there. Why am I telling you? You guys all know how to read. Look right there. Hey, don't miss the Pretty Good Racing League. I don't have to tell you what it is. It's right on screen. That's a great show. That's on Tuesday nights. Now, if you don't have a calendar, today's Saturday, so it's Sunday, Monday, and then they'll be here on that one. You don't want to miss that one as well. Those races you see on screen right now and anything you find on BGN is a production of the Virtual Grip Network. With that said, I'm going to take this padlock, put it on the gate here, and I'm going to say until next time, have fun storming the castle.